lot of confusion, I'm here to help you clear it up. Hi, I'm Natalie MacLean, and I review thousands of wines every year. My liver for the people. And I'm doing this Facebook live broadcast. It's about my third, I think. Anyway, let me know if anybody can hear me or if I'm simply talking to myself. Occasionally I'm going to look at the screen, see if anybody has joined me here. Oh, I see something there. And I see the eyeballs. It's like the eye of Mordor from the Lord of the Rings. And the number starts to go up. And it's like, okay, Mordor, what's in your glass? Or is it Sauron? Anyway, so let me know if you can hear me. If you're joining me, say hey. Tell me where you're from, what you're drinking. It's okay if you're not drinking Merlot or Carmenere, our topic tonight. Just let me know what's in your glass. And as I said, we're going to talk about Merlot tonight. We're going to talk about Carmenere. There's a lot of confusion. What's the difference? Which ones should you buy? I want to hear from you though. Which ones have you tried lately that you have absolutely loved? Because one of the things with this, hey Lynn, thanks for checking in. I just saw your comment. Thanks, gal. So I want to know what Merlots or Carmeneres you've been enjoying lately, and put the link down here in the comments so that others who are tuning into this broadcast now or in the future, because this does replay, can enjoy. I'll also be posting the links to every wine I taste tonight so that you can go out and afterwards those links will tell you the tasting notes, the food pairings, the scores, and which liquor stores closest to you have the wines. That's really key. You don't want to travel all over the city. You want to get your wines as soon as possible. So let me know if you're joining us. As I said, I'm Natalie MacLean. Review lots of wines, and tonight's topic is Merlot versus Carmenere. So let's start at the beginning, shall we, with the movie Sideways. That really isn't the beginning of Merlot, but it's the cultural reference, I think, that really changed the modern perception of Merlot. Sideways, of course, was that runaway hit in the 1980s. I think it might be late 80s. And Rex Pickett wrote the book. Love Rex Pickett because he endorsed my book, but no, I love the film too. And in it, if you remember, there was a character called Miles, and he's on a bachelor road tour with his buddy who's getting married. And they end up in Santa Barbara near Hitching Post Winery down there. And that's famous for its Pinot Noir. But they go to a bar, and at some point, I'm not recalling all of this because it's been a while since I watched the movie, but he's telling his guy friend, I am not drinking Merlot. I am not drinking Merlot. I've removed the expletives for family viewing. Hello, Sabina, from a chilly afternoon in Edmonton. Sabina, it's chilly here in Ottawa too. It's so fall. And we're talking about Merlot and Carmenere. But while I'm distracted, as I easily am, Gwen, thank you for joining us. Gwen from Ottawa, you're as chilly as we are, as chilly as Sabina is out in Edmonton, and Lynn is in Halifax. So we have got almost coast-to-coast representation here. All right. Just on a personal note, as I mentioned last week, my son has gone off to Waterloo for engineering. I dropped him off there, and I thought it would be like an emotional mess. Wine helps, of course, but it turns out everything's for the good. He's happy. Last night we FaceTimed. I got to know that tool just a week before he left because it is amazing. He called me. We could see each other and all that. And I know this sounds so like FaceTime. You're just discovering FaceTime? Okay, good for you. But anyway, we're connected, and he had a good first week. He's not weepy. He doesn't want to come home. And so that really helps me too. Anyway, back to our topic. Merlot versus Carmenere over there. So, as I was saying, this movie Sideways sort of really gave Merlot a bad rap for being like the soft jazz, quote, boring, of the wine world. So it got the kind of reputation Chardonnay did, right? So, ABC, anything but Chardonnay. People got on to the whole thing that, I don't like that, it's just not interesting. Of course, Miles in the movie Sideways going, I'm not drinking Merlot, I'm not drinking Merlot. Please, please. What's ironic, of course, is that Mia, who's in the movie. She has the nice, soft, little curly blonde hair. And now she's in American Gothic, by the way, which I just love and finished on iTunes. She's a bit older, but that's okay. She's still drinking. She holds up. She's talking about the beauty of wine and wine lives and all this kind of romantic poetry stuff that I subscribe to, by the way. But she's holding up Chateau Cheval Blanc, a rare bottle from Bordeaux. And guess what? Merlot leads in that blend. So that's the first thing to know about Merlot. Merlot may have a boring name, but it's part of the blend and a major part of the blend in some of the most esteemed, coveted Bordeaux wines of the world. So let's just clarify that. When it comes to Bordeaux, Sabina is actually indulging today in a bodacious red. You go, girl. Bodacious red. Love that. So when it comes to Bordeaux and Merlot, it's often part of the three big grapes. So Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, and Merlot. And then we have Petit Verdot and Malbec, often in there for blending, for darkness, for structure, etc. But we've got in Bordeaux, not to get too technical or anything, but we've got the Gironde River that divides the right bank and the left bank. Left bank and the right bank. Anyway, you're reversed probably in this camera. But on the right bank, which is Saint-Emilion and other regions, they lead with Merlot. Merlot is always the dominant grape in the blend. On the left bank, we're talking Médoc and so on, Pomerol, Margaux, and etc. They lead with Cabernet Sauvignon, so more structure, etc. But Merlot is a much respected grape in that blend. Tara has joined us. Tara, hello, Tara, my dear. You're drinking Elcione 2011. Am I saying that right? I will just pop out accents. I will try. And I will be shut down for them, but I will try. It is a Merlot and Cabernet blend. So, Tara is on point. She's on trend. She's trying to participate in a more meaningful way here. Anyway, we're up to a lot more eyeballs. As I said, there's like this icon on Facebook Live, and it's like an eyeball, and the numbers keep going up in terms of how many eyeballs. It's sort of spooky, but encouraging. It's like the Eye of Mordor. Just really odd. Anyway, so we're trying to establish the difference between Merlot and Carmenere. Talked a little bit about Bordeaux. So if you missed any of the explanation that has just gone on, you can watch the replay later at the beginning parts, but stay with me because I would love your comments. So if you just joined us, please give me a hey, where are you from, what's in your glass? Post any comments. We're talking about Merlot versus Carmenere. So that's Merlot. But let me just go over to some of my notes, and I'm going to include these links in the post afterwards. I always collect together so that, we're gradually going to collect an inventory or a library of videos here with Facebook Live, because I'm also streaming at the same time, techie, on YouTube. I've learned how to do this. I am the Borg. I learned quickly. I love technology. So Merlot had a boring reputation as of the 80s, and it was vilified sideways. Merlot is the leading grape, and get this, it's the leading grape in the blend for Chateau Petrus. That is like the ultimate, isn't it not? But that's a Saint-Emilion wine. Chateau Cheval Blanc, same thing. Chateau Palmer, which is on the left bank, which should lead with Cabernet Sauvignon, but it does not. Merlot is the third most widely planted grape in France, after Carignan and Grenache, and it is definitely number one in the Bordeaux region. Not just Saint-Emilion on the right bank, but all of Bordeaux, which encapsulates Saint-Emilion, Médoc, all of these words I've been throwing around with bad accents. Merlot is number one. And it adds plushness, it adds roundness, it adds that, what I like to call, and I use repeatedly and too much, fleshy black plum flavors. So where it's also planted actually we're going to get to Chile in a moment because there's some confusion over Merlot and Carmenere. So I'm going back. We've got some hey, Paul Hollander. Okay, hello, Paul. It says, hi from Paul and Patty in Virginia. We're enjoying popcorn and you got cut off. Gosh, I hope it's not just popcorn, Paul. I'm glad you're there with Patty. Tell me what you're drinking, okay? I'm thinking popcorn. Is it a buttery Chardonnay, Paul? I hope so. Sharon has just joined us. Thanks for the invite. You're welcome, Sharon. I recently discovered Carmenere. This one, in my view, curious of Natalie's view, okay, I'll give it to you, is a great value. It's 12 points. So it's, the Mont Gras from LCBO. Yes, indeed, Sharon. That's fantastic. This is what I like and what I'm going to get to later in this video. Carmenieres are the steal of the century. And in fact, Merlots are well priced too because they've been dissed. Any wine that's been dissed by popular culture is often a really great value. So she's got the link in her post, which is right below, so you can click on that, to Mont Gras Carmenere. Sharon says, I'm more of a Cab Sauv fan, Shiraz kind of girl, but over Merlot, but this is strong enough for me. I see her. You're a good palate whopper there, Sharon. I agree. Nothing in my glass as I'm on an elimination diet. You're so virtuous, Sharon. Gosh, I hope this isn't torture to listen to me tonight. Okay, so Paul says he's back. He's with his popcorn and patty. A Cabernet. He's got Cabernet Sauvignon from Z. Alexander Zach Brown. Not Bland, Brown. It's very good. That's great, Paul. Cabernet Sauvignon popcorn. Is that working as a pairing, Paul? Jason has joined us. Hey, Jason from Calgary again. Have you lived there twice? Or you're just logging in twice? Okay. And my favorite Merlot is Sansonima. You know what, Jason? I haven't heard of that. Is that California? Tell me where that's from. Are you drinking it tonight or something else in your glass? Okay, so let me get back to the topic. As I said, I'm always easily distracted, so you can just play with me that way. I will follow the lead. So we talked a little bit about Merlot, so why don't we taste the Merlot? Okay, so I keep popping up this bottle. This is Ghost Pines Merlot from California. And what it says is that the fruit is 86% Sonoma, which is a cool climate, by the way, in California. The fog, the Pacific Ocean rolls in the fog, keeps the temperatures cool, keeps the vines cool. 14% Napa, which is a bit warmer. Let me get my glass. What they call this glass is conditioned. What they call this taster is conditioned. You can, if you ever have a glass that, you sniff it with a bit of wine here, and it smells of detergent or dust because it's been in your cupboard too long, you can pour a splash of wine in it and do this, and roll the wine around. You would have more wine than I do right now. But it's called conditioning the glass, meaning, and then you just do this and then dump it out. Yes, you have to dump it. But it removes all the extraneous flavors and aromas that you don't want on your wine. So this glass is conditioned. Let's take a sippy sip. To quote Gary Vaynerchuk, one of my favorite wine guys who's gone on to much bigger things, though I'm sure he still loves wine. So Ghost Pines Merlot, what was the vintage? 2013. I will post the link to all these. No worries. I love that sound. Okay, need the spittoon. All right, so I'm going to take a little, okay, Merlot. Merlot, what is Merlot? So all wines should be different and unique and signature and terroir and but black fleshy plums, very signature. New World Merlot, usually far more ripe, and okay, so Jason just said, LOL, laugh out loud. I said again because I watched your video last week as well. Okay, Jason, I just thought you moved there twice. I'm very literal. Okay, Jason, yes, okay, gotcha. All right, so this Merlot, fleshy plums, a little dark spice, little pepper, but I just love the roundness and richness. I'm already feeling my mouth water. You smell something like, it can be anything, wine especially, but an orange or something, and you just feel your juices start to flow. And that's literally whetting your appetite. So let's just try this. That's nice. Didn't need the spittoon after all. Wow, that's great. I love that. You know why I love it? Because it's got this rich, fruity, juicy, round everything. And yet it's not like a fruit bomb. It's not like, I'm going to whack you over the palate with heaviness and alcohol and oak and just, you know, someone who talks too loud at a party, right? I don't want to be caught in a corner with that guy, that girl, that gal. This has the mouth-awakening acidity, which is lovely, just lovely. So that's what we call balance. So, you know, you've got your other black fleshy fruit. You could say blackberry. All of this is subjective, by the way. Don't get cowed or intimidated by, oh my God, I don't get that blackberry. I get black plum or whatever. You know what? Just taste, keep trying, and see what you think. What are you getting? Black fruit. Wow, again, I didn't need the spittoon. That's amazing. So, anyway, Paul is saying that his wine is a big Cabernet, bold fruit. We're big fans of Zach Brown and Jack and Jill. John Killenrue is the winemaker. Jason says, here's the review. Jason is giving me my own review of the wine I asked him about and said I've never heard of. That's what happens, Jason. I taste so many wines. I actually have to look at my own reviews to remember what I want to buy. And it's not because I'm totally brain dead. It's just I taste so many wines. Trying to remember all of these is a bit of a challenge. So thank you for reminding me that I actually have tasted, reviewed, carefully ranked this wine already. Jason's posted that link below for us all, including me. So let's go back to Merlot. So what is really interesting about Merlot, is that it ripens about a week or two earlier than Cabernet Sauvignon. And why is that good? Because every harvest is a risk, right? So you don't know if you're going to get the rains, you don't know if you're going to get the birds eating all your grapes, you don't know if you're going to get a mold or a rot infestation. So the quicker you can get those grapes ripened, the better. And yet, there's a counter to that. You still want complexity. You still want long ripening and deep flavors. You don't want just the quick ripening, right? So, but Merlot is a safer bet often than Cabernet Sauvignon. So in vintages that are not as strong as others, Merlot will often perform better than Cabernet Sauvignon because it's got that week or two in advance of Cabernet Sauvignon for ripening. So it's as a result as well, it's often richer and rounder and plummier, and we use words like supple and smooth and soft jazz in a good way, right? So, and every vintner sort of has a portfolio of grapes, the smart ones do. So they're not just putting all their grapes in one basket. They've got Cabernet over here, they've got Merlot over there, and so they're harvesting at different times, and depending on the vintage, one lot of grapes is going to probably show better than others. And if they're blending them together, they can create a signature that is more consistent. So again, back to Bordeaux, where we call it a Bordeaux blend of Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, sometimes Petit Verdot or a Malbec, but also in North America, especially the States, but also in Canada, we call it Meritage. Meritage. Sorry, I always get that wrong because I'm always correcting people and then I do it wrong. Meritage. So we're going to say it the good old American way, Meritage. Not Meritage like Heritage, it's Meritage. And that is the same sort of Bordeaux blend of those grapes I just mentioned, but in the US or Canada or other New World countries. So let me go back to my thing. I've been going, so Jason says Jason says it was a community review, so you're still in the clear, no worries. Great. Well, thank you. Jason. Sharon says, I'm not remembering previously tasted... Sharon says, not remembering previously tasted wines must be an occupational hazard. Eh, Natalie? Yeah. Well, for some people, for some writers, yes. Not all, but definitely here. Okay, so I am liking the progression of this discussion. I would like to know your questions, though. Jump in. You don't have to be an expert. If you just joined us, please tell us what's in your glass. It doesn't have to be Merlot or Carmenere, which is our topic tonight, but just say, where are you from? And or, what are you drinking? I want to know who's here with us tonight. It's just, we're all drinking here at our virtual kitchen table, right? That's what we're doing. So, and let me know if you have any questions, whether it's related to our topic or totally off topic. As I said, I can be easily distracted, completely off topic. Okay, so we got Merlot ripens earlier. The other thing about Merlot is that it likes dry, rocky soils, but it's a thin-skinned grape. This is where grapes start to remind me of people. It's thin-skinned, so it's very sensitive, like some people I know. So, you know, it's very prone to rot, criticism, or early spring frosts, being shut out of certain social circles. So, as a result, Merlot, like Pinot Noir, by the way, interesting that they share that, and yet Miles disses Merlot, not Pinot. So, as a result, Merlot needs to be pruned regularly, meaning you're cutting back the canopy. What is the canopy? Those are the leaves, so you're shearing back the leaves, so to have more sun exposure directly onto the grapes. You're also cutting the grapes to get more, so you drop grapes and you think, oh my God, what a waste. Not really. Because the grapes that remain get all the nutrients from the vine stem that are left. So you get more concentrated, more flavorful, more complex grapes, and as a result, the wine. So it's got to be pruned, or else it can produce wines that are weedy, grassy, boring, watery, or just touchy, like some of those people. Anyway, let me go back to, Rachel O'Connor. Hey, Rachel, from Ottawa. You're drinking Kate Radburn Pinot Gris. Rachel, Rochelle, I know that. Rochelle, where is this wine from? Kate Radburn Pinot Gris. Tell me where that's from, Rochelle. Okay, so we've done the Ghost Pines. That's a solid value. I think that's under $20, but I will post the link. That's California, okay? So let's stick on Merlot until we get deeper into Carmenere here for a minute. This is a recent discovery, H3. It's from Columbia Crest in Washington State. So now we're still in America, but Washington State is really known for its Merlot, even more so, I think, than Cabernet Sauvignon. It's got this arid desert dry condition. So what I just said about Merlot is that it needs to be cropped and canopied and tamed, if you will, because it will go all out of control if you don't push it back. Like someone who talks too much, right? But in tough, arid conditions, grapes like that thrive. Well, they thrive because they need a challenge, right? It's like they need the challenge of dry, rocky soils to actually produce something of balance. So if they're in a lush environment, they're just going to take over the whole conversation. But if they're in a tough environment, they will actually produce something of balance and complexity. So we're with H3. This is all about the horses, the wild horses that used to roam the Columbia Valley, Horse Heaven Hills. It's named after the little horses. There's also another line of this wine's called is it H14? It was 14 hands. It's 14 hands because that was the height of the horses, 14 hands high. So wild little rough, tough ponies, love their spirit, roamed the Columbia Valley. This is Merlot. So let's just try this Merlot from Washington State, which is all over the liquor stores right now. Let's just try that. That, in comparison to the California Ghost Pines, has more of an edge. in a good way. Not better, but different, good. More acidity, and just more of a definition structure. I'm just feeling that on my palate. These abstract terms I know can be just so weird, but you just feel the building blocks of the wine on your palate. So Rochelle says, nope, Rochelle did not clarify. We know she's drinking Kate Radburn. Jason says he's not drinking today, but last night it was Valpolicella or Paso. You know, Jason, I couldn't watch a video like this and not drink. You guys are so disciplined. Oh, wow. You're beyond me. But cheers to you. Okay, so this H3 is really terrific. And I believe, at least in the LCBO, it is Vintage's Essentials right now, meaning it's in stores all over the place year round. So it's good, and it's well under $20, I know that. Didn't need to spit down. That's pretty magic. So Rochelle is clarifying. So Kate Radburn Pinot Gris, Rochelle, is a collaboration between Pasque Winery and it's produced by Pasque Winery in Hawke's Bay, New Zealand. Is that correct? That's really great. Do we have a link to it on our site or where you've reviewed it, my dear? That would be really helpful. People want to buy the wines we're all talking about. So Rochelle has a great palate, by the way. She judges the sommelier exams at Algonquin College here in Ottawa, and she's one of our people who review wines regularly on the site. So Rochelle, we'd love to see the link, or if you can add it later with your review, that would be great so people can pick it up. So that is Washington State. Let me see what else. Okay, we're gonna go, back to California. And now we're gonna go to Sterling. Sterling has relaunched its label. Not that that's a huge deal. We care more about what's in the bottle, don't we? So Sterling Merlot. Sterling has always had a range of wines. This would be, I believe, their entry level with Vintner's Collection. Very reasonably priced. $15 to $17, I think. But again, the links that I will post will give you the exact information. But Sterling goes right up to the high end in California. It's in the heart of Napa Valley. Merlot is classic there, of course. Jason says, too much vino last night, but the day's not over yet. Jason, join us. Come to the dark side. Okay, so here we are. Oh, I just love this nose with Sterling. So that, because it just draws me in. It reminds me of a cool, airy California winery on a spring day where you're walking in to the cellars and those casks are calling you and they're emanating, or they're giving off a little aroma, that angel share bit that just taunts you. And it's black plum, it's cassis, but it's fresh. And it's on a fresh spring rain. Anyway, just drink, right? That is so balanced, so round, so ripe. Again, not heavy, but just beautiful. I can't believe we're at 28 minutes already. I better motor on to Carmenere. These things go so quickly. Or maybe just for me. Everybody else is going moveon.com. But I gotta say, this Sterling is fantastic, especially for the money. No spittoon. Okay, so anyway, let me put that away. Let's see what I have over here. Any more? Okay, before I clear off of Merlots and get on to the difference with Carmenere, Henry of Pelham. This is, you often see this, a Cabernet Merlot blend, not just, as I said, in Bordeaux, but also in the New World. These things go together like Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. So Fred Astaire is Cabernet, that's so stereotypical, structure, male, blah. And Merlot is the woman doing everything the man does, backwards in heels. Anyway, I won't get into metaphors like flesh, full body, blah. This one, what is this? This is Generalist $15. Okay, Niagara, here we go. Okay. This is more plummy, deep purple rich. I like that. Oh, there comes I love that when Liberace plays the piano right up there. That's releasing the acidity, the juices in your own mouth, your own palate going whoa, whoa, and releasing the saliva, literally, that gets you ready for food, which is what wine should do. That's exactly why wine and food work well together. So this is gorgeous, especially for $15. Henry of Pelham, Niagara. Excuse me, love the combination of, see, Cabernet adds the structure. Cabernet is the cello, like the deep notes. Merlot is the flute or the violin, adding the up notes, the flesh, the plush. You need both in a relationship, right? I love that. Okay. Sabina says, has anyone heard of Northern Lights Estate Winery in Prince George? So north. Let's throw it out there, Sabina. I love that. Throw it out there. Wonder if anybody's heard of that. Please reply to Sabina and me. I'm watching the comments. I would like to know. Has anyone heard of that? Northern Lights Estate Winery in Prince George. Let's find out, Sabina. All right, so now we're starting to move into, okay, so Carmenere is the most planted grape in Chile. But let's just clarify a few things, shall we? Carmenere is not the same grape as Merlot. It was thought to be for a long time because it was often in Chile harvested with Merlot and all blended together in the early days. And so it had a lot of similar characteristics, the plushness, the roundness, the dark fleshy fruit. But it's not. It's actually a different grape. So now we won't be confused anymore. Carmenere is the French word for carmine, meaning crimson. So a deep, dark color. It's also called Grand Videur. There's an accent for you. Grand Videur. The deep, dark, black. Mystery, I added that. Editorial notes. It's the darkest, blackest grape known among red grapes. There's an interesting fact. You can drop it at a dinner party if you want to be a real geek. It's got the real deep color, Carmenere. And it is almost or is impossible to find Carmenere planted in France today. Why? Because of phylloxera, that mean little root louse that affected all the vineyards in Bordeaux in the late 1800s. So phylloxera devastated the vineyards of Europe, especially France. It wiped out entire, just hundreds and hundreds of hectares or acres of vineyard. And some varieties did not survive at all, like Carmenere. So Carmenere was thought to be extinct. And so Carmenere, just to show you an example, Carmenere, Chile. But it was discovered 150 years later that Carmenere thrived. And where? In Chile. What happened is that some forward-thinking winemakers had taken vine cuttings from Bordeaux while it still lived before phylloxera and planted them, grafted them over in Chile. And the root louse phylloxera could not survive, could not get to Chile because there's a lot of natural borders for phylloxera. Phylloxera can't survive in arid desert conditions, which the root louse would hit well before it even got to the Andes. So the Andes And then over on the other side, okay, so on the Andes you have Argentina on this side, and then you have Chile on the Pacific side. So the root louse would have to survive the desert leading up to the Andes, get over the Andes, and then get into Chile. It did not do that. So Carmenere survived in secret for 150 years, and then it emerged. And it got clarified that, yes, this is not Merlot. This is Carmenere, the crimson grape, the actual Grand Vidal, the great black mystery grape. So now it's the signature classic flagship grape, I think, of Chile. It's the one Chile should hang its hat on for red grapes because it's unique to Chile. Other countries still have it, still plant it, but Chile really does it well. So let's dive into that with Chile. So I've got two saints. When the saints came marching in, so we've got Santa Carolina and Santa Rita. I don't know if they ever knew each other in real life, but it really doesn't matter. Santa Carolina, these are two inexpensive, cheap, not cheap in the bad quality sense, but inexpensive wines you're going to find everywhere. They're both under 15 bucks, but I wanted to taste them head to head as a sort of like, how much are they different? So Santa Carolina, I'm going to start with this because it's the Merlot and that's what we've been on with first, and then the Santa Rita. And I want to see if there's any difference. Screw cap, I love it. So Sabina is going to check out that wine at the end of the month, the Northern Lights Winery, if anybody's heard of it. And I'm going to keep motoring here. That's the Merlot from Santa Carolina. I'll post the link. No spittoon. By the way, I'm not trying to drag these videos out, but I just get going on the topic. But also Facebook says anything less than 15 or 20 minutes they don't like that. So I think people prefer something of more substance and material because you can always watch this video on your own terms, the replay I mean, at another time when you've got a glass of wine in front of you, right? You can choose. All right, Santa Rita Carmenere now. So I just had the Merlot. I just want to know how different it seems from Chile on the same price point as Merlot. You know what's really evident is the Carmenere is really rich and round and plushy. The Merlot is too, but not as much. So the Carmenere definitely is like satin pillows on your tongue. I hope you can relate to that. Satin pillows on your tongue. It's just beautiful. I'm going to taste another one here. One of my favorites. This is the last one. Montes Alpha, which I think is terrific. Ah, Sam. Hello, Sam. Okay. He's saying, yes, Sabina. It's a fruit winery, as far as I know, but it's supposed to be really good. See? We're connecting. We're answering each other's questions. You are, not me. I don't know everything. I can't even remember the wines I reviewed. So anyway, Montes Alpha, Carmenere. Let's try that. I always find Montes really excellent value. And their Purple Angel, you have died and gone to heaven, literally. Can't resist. Okay, so. Oh, okay. Remember, Montes Alpha, Carmenere. And you know what? This is less than 20 bucks. Sustainably farmed, irrigation controlled. Okay. Oh, that's so nice. This is when my tasting notes descend into purrs and ums. But the thing is, it's rich, it's plush. It's got all that mouth texture. It's not just about flavor, right? It's about how does this feel in my mouth? And this is just so lovely. So let me give you some quick tips before I round up here on pairings. So whether it's Merlot or Carmenere, and I am going to group them together for a moment, I do think you can pair them with some similar foods like grilled pork chops, grilled chicken, quesadillas, poultry, tandoori flavored dishes work, game, lamb, veal, lentil dishes, dark chocolate, but be careful. Sometimes I just find, even though it's not sweet, dark chocolate can still ruin a red wine. So, not so sure. But what else have I got? Let's just see. Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably good. Let me see. Love it. Thanks, Sam. I love it when everybody connects. Okay, just got here, says Sam. Next week I'll set an alarm so I don't miss the beginning. Yes, Sam. I have the Echo from the Echo from Amazon. It's called Alexa, and it does all kinds of alarms. Anyway, what I should be saying, and what I forgot to say at the beginning and now, and I forgot to relentlessly promote this, is that you should be clicking on everything. If you want the alerts, first of all, click on share with your friends, which is the little button under our video. Click on follow, which should be a green button if you haven't. Maybe it disappears after you do that for the first time. Click on like, because I think if you do that, you get in the live feed next time. So when I go live, you will get an alert, a heads up that I'm going live. What else can you click on? Click on sign up, the blue button. That's sign up for my newsletter, which you're gonna absolutely love. Why don't you click on everything you can, except for like going away from this page. As you can see, I'm not very Facebook savvy. So Sam says, love the Montes Alpha. Had an opportunity to have lunch with the winemaker in Vancouver. Woohoo! Sam, you're so connected. Okay, so I think I'm liking this one overall. I think this is the winner. Just gonna check, right? I'm just gonna check. Yeah, that's the winner. So, does anyone have any more questions before we wrap up? Because I've gone on and I've nattered, so to speak, for almost 40 minutes. I don't know. Who's the survivor still standing here? John Lavoie, Sam, I am guilty of a late arrival. Even with a reminder post-it note. Should I be creating custom post-it notes for you people? Okay, y'all need to, I don't know, what do I need to do to remind you? I reminded in the newsletter Friday, I do post on social media a whole bunch, but I think really the trick is to click on like for this, because I think once you click on like, in the future you will get a heads up when I go live. If you click on follow, I think the same thing happens, the green follow button. Sign up is just to get my newsletter. I don't know what else. Anybody got any tips? I don't know what else I can do for you people other than to come on to your house, knock on your door and go, hey. But that's not really virtual, is it? So, anybody got any more questions about Carmenere versus Merlot? I'm going to post some links on the differences. I'm going to post the links on the wines we tasted. I so need to have dinner. It's Sunday night. Oh, I was thinking of calling this not the Sunday Supper Club, but the Sunday Sipper Club. Does anybody like that? Am I talking to myself? I think that's it. Anybody? I'm just looking at the comments here. We got a lot of people online. That's great, but I think it's 45 minutes, people. I gotta wrap it up. Okay. This is so fun. I love this. This is really great. We're going to get better every week. Also suggest topics for future, because I do listen to those. I have responded. I have, when we did screw caps last week, you can watch that one. It was because someone suggested it. Peter did. Okay. I like the Sunday Sipper Club, says Sharon. Sharon, my gal. We're together on that then. The Sunday Sipper Club. Oh, Caroline says she likes it too. We're getting people are all waking up here. My lurkers are coming out of the bushes. That's great. I just love the interactivity here. Let's see. I think that's it. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this regularly on a Sunday at 6 p.m. Ottawa, Toronto time. If you can't always make it, you can watch the replay, but it's better when you're here live because you can ask questions and I can say your name and you can feel ego gratified, and I can answer your question, and it's all good. It's all good. So, okay, I'm just looking to make sure I don't miss anything. You know what I'm going to do? Tonight and tomorrow and throughout the week, I'm going to dive back into this post. And if you post a question after the fact, after we finish recording, I'm going to answer it, okay? So don't feel it's too late. I will still dive in. I will answer questions, whether they're related to Merlot or Carmenere or anything else. So, my Sunday Sipper Club members, thank you so much for joining me. I know you have busy lives. I hope this helps you have a little more fun in your life, find some connection. Paul says the Sunday Sipper Club is super. Looking forward to next week. And it was me, not Peter, with the screw caps. Way to take ownership, Paul. I can't remember the wines I reviewed. Do you think I can remember that you suggested the topic? Anyway, that's good. Paul, thank you. So I'm going to wrap this up, and I will post it live and all the rest of the tech stuff. Otherwise, I'll just keep going here forever. So I really appreciate you guys. Okay, so I'll see you next week. Suggest a topic. Be on board. John, with your post-it notes, I don't know how to help you, but anyway, try harder. Take care. Okay, I gotta find my Wirecast here. Okay, now I gotta stop. Good night.